This video is sponsored by King Arthur Legends Rise. King Arthur Legends Rise is a free-to-play strategic squad RPG where you follow the legend of King Arthur. The game is based on the legendary tale of King Arthur and the sword Excalibur, but offers a fresh take on Arthurian lore with a focus on hero collection and tactical turn-based combat. King Arthur Legends Rise was released on Steam on January 22nd and is available to play now. King Arthur Legends Rise has a rich story and many fun factors such as solving puzzles. The graphics look great, and the game contains unique strategic elements such as the changing weather. One of the main components of the game is hero collection. King Arthur Legends Rise offers a vast collection of heroes, each with their own distinct abilities and roles, adding layers of strategy to the game. To build a powerful team, players must carefully select champions with the right relic elements, such as flame, frost, or storm, to take advantage of elemental strengths. Certain elements are stronger or weaker against others. The flame element is strong against the storm element, and vice versa, the storm element is weak against flame. Frost is strong against flame, and flame is weak against frost. The element of each hero is determined by the relic that they have equipped. Each hero has a default relic, but you can switch their relic and change their element. Additional relics can be obtained through summoning at Lake Avalon. Having multiple relics enhances your heroes by making them more flexible and able to exploit elemental advantages by switching relics when up against tough bosses to counter them. Generally, by choosing your squad's relics carefully, you can deal more damage to the enemy while minimizing the damage you receive. It's also important to choose a diverse set of hero types. Some heroes specialize in dealing damage, others in healing and playing a supportive role, and also some heroes can taunt enemies and negate damage, serving as a tank for your squad. There are even control type heroes specializing in debuffs that can crowd control the enemy team by weakening and debilitating them. Players can summon and upgrade a variety of characters, including famous figures from Arthurian legend such as Merlin, Bors, Guinevere, Lancelot, and more. But not all heroes are equal. Heroes are categorized into 4 different rarities: legendary, rare, uncommon, and common. Legendary heroes, of course, have the best stats and abilities, making them extremely powerful, but they require a lot of resources to level up. Rare heroes, on the other hand, are easier to upgrade because they require less resources to level up, making them the perfect option for the main campaign. When it comes to combat, you'll need to pay attention to your vigor. Vigor is the resource used to use powerful abilities. Each hero has 3 abilities. Ability 1 generates 1 point of vigor and is typically weaker than ability 2 and 3. However, 1 point of vigor is also restored at the start of each turn. Abilities 2 and 3 will cost vigor, and so you'll need to choose when to use them strategically. Vigor as a resource carries over from battle to battle, so if you use all your vigor in one battle, you'll enter the next battle without any. So if you anticipate a boss battle coming up, you'll want to use ability 1 mostly to ensure you're maxed out on vigor for the boss fight. Another important aspect of combat is the attack gauge. This important feature determines the order of attack. Enemies can decrease your attack gauge, and it is the bar located directly below a character's health bar. When a unit has a full attack gauge, they get to attack first. Certain abilities can increase or decrease attack gauge, so you'll want to manage your attack gauge well as try and manipulate the enemy's attack gauge to your advantage. Another strategic element of King Arthur Legends Rise is the weather. Certain weather can buff certain heroes. For example, certain heroes are stronger during the day and weaker during the night. You can check weather effects by tapping the weather icon in the top left. If the weather effects are favorable, your heroes will be buffed with increased damage, decreased damage taken, and increased attack speed. But if the weather is unfavorable, the opposite can be expected. It's also important to understand buffs and debuffs. Targets with physical enhancement applied will always only take 1 point of damage. To counter this, you can combine heroes capable of co-op attacks to deal multiple hits in a single turn. Using skill 1 has a chance to activate co-op attacks denoted by a chain icon on certain heroes. Another important aspect of combat is protecting your weaker squad members. Abilities that taunt are extremely important because it goads the target into using only weaker attacks and keeps them from using more powerful abilities. This makes taunting a great way to keep your squad safe, especially against powerful, deadly enemies like bosses. What's great about all these aspects of combat is, while they may seem complicated at first, the game offers you the Knight's Training Camp, which allows you to learn the basics of combat one concept at a time. Intermediate and advanced training is locked behind basic training, allowing you to follow a logical progression, learning the basics first and then more advanced concepts later. And the depth of the game is great, so that even as a more experienced player, there's always ways to improve. Another main component of King Arthur Legends Rise is the city. Within the city, there are a large number of locations, some that are available from the start and others that need to be unlocked by completing objectives and progressing through the the story. Among the many locations is the Plaza Fountain. The Plaza Fountain periodically creates XP potions. The Plaza Fountain is fed by a spring which flows from the roots of the World Tree, and Fontaine distills the memory-laden water into XP potions. Every hour you can return to the fountain and collect an XP potion, and you want to remember to do this because only by taking the XP potion can you start the hour timer again. Within the city is also Lake Avalon. This location is one of the most important in the entire city. This is where you can summon heroes. Since a major part of the game is collecting heroes, you'll spend a decent amount of time here summoning heroes, viewing the hero codex, and purchasing memory stones and relic shards at the shard shop. Camelot wouldn't be complete without the castle, and the castle is the historic heart of Camelot and serves as the administrative center of the city. By developing the castle, it will decrease the cost of developing other buildings, and it increases the amount of resources you can obtain. Within the forge, you can purchase, enhance, or even craft equipment. Unlike the fountain, castle, or Lake Avalon, the forge does not come unlocked, and you must complete chapter 4 of the main story in order to unlock it. Next is the relic forge. This is another location where you can power up relics, use products to obtain breath, and even upgrade relics. Like the forge, the relic forge is unlocked through progressing through the main storyline. So as you can tell, there are many locations to unlock within the city, but what is incredible is that these locations are all within the central district. You can also unlock the eastern and southern districts, which contain even more locations. So there's really no shortage of locations to unlock and develop to fully customize, improve your heroes and your city. Another one of the most important locations within the central district is the Knight Training Camp. The Knight Training Camp is where you can undergo training and not only learn more about combat and the strategy involved within, but you can also earn rewards for completing different levels of training. Rewards include summoning tickets in order to summon heroes. You can also unlock gold, which is the currency used for trading throughout Britain. You can also earn XP potions, which are used to grant XP to your heroes, or even earn free crystals, which are valuable gems imbued with divine power used for purchasing valuable items. One of my absolute favorite parts of the city is the Knight Training Camp. It's perfect for beginners to go in there and learn all about combat and all the different intricacies that are involved within it. In conclusion, King Arthur Legends Rise is a turn-based role-playing game that reimagines the legendary tale of King Arthur. In this immersive experience, players assume the role of a young Arthur striving to restore his kingdom to its former glory. The game combines rich storytelling with strategic gameplay, offering an unforgettable journey through an epic fantasy world. Whether it's the engaging turn-based combat, the hero collection, or city management, King Arthur Legends Rise is an expansive game for fans of RPGs and Arthurian legend. The legend of King Arthur roars to life in this strategic squad RPG. If you're ready to make your squad legendary in King Arthur Legends Rise, click the link in the description and start playing now.